Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on BeeTv News Update at 3, and I am Libra Joanna. Now the news in details. The 10 years anniversary reception of late Mrs. Imegbeyogo Odubu Ni Osunde, a mother of the former Deputy Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Right Honorable Dr. Pius Odubu, brought together the creme de la creme of society, including the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo. BeeTv News Best Orator reports that late Mrs. Imegbeyogo Odubu was extolled with glowing praises and tributes from her children and distinguished guests. The reports.
Celebrating 10 years of fond memories of late Mrs. Imegbeyogo Odubu, her children, led by the former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Dr. Pius Odubu, hosted a reception that drew an array of guests. Among the dignitaries in attendance were the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, his deputy, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, the Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Blessing Agbebaku, former Deputy Governors, Right Honorable Comrade Felicia Shaibu and Reverend Peter Obadan, as well as prominent politicians from within and outside Edo State and leading business tycoons. It was an electrifying atmosphere as guests joined Right Honorable Dr. Pius Odubu and his siblings on the dance floor amidst excitement with musical performance by Pama Omoyi. Some guests at the event extolled late Mrs. Imegbeyogo Odubu as a woman of rare qualities and enduring legacy, whose life remains worthy of emulation. They also commended her children, led by Right Honorable Dr. Pius Odubu, for celebrating her love and legacy.
The mother that died 10 years ago that they are celebrating today had good children. Because some persons might just die because history, nobody remembers them anymore. But I think that for the children to remember passing of their mother 10 years after, shows that she has good children.
Who is a great man, former Deputy Governor of this state, and we're very happy to associate with him.
No doubt that she lived a very eventful, impactful life. And for the children, they have to learn from the life that Mama lived. Because if Mama didn't live an impactful life, an eventful life, there will be nothing to celebrate 10 years after.
A man of great intellect, a man with great capabilities, who when he was deputy governor reached out to all, irrespective of political parties.
The mother was nice. The mother is who made him who he is today. So he just wants to appreciate her and thank her for what, even though she's in heaven, he wants to thank her for all she did.
The celebration of a mother after 10 years speaks volume. That means you didn't forget her, all that she has done for you, you didn't forget her. It's not easy to remember parents who have really stood by you. So our former Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Pius Odubu and his siblings, they are really celebrating their mother today to show to the world that their mother was a great woman.
When the whole world rejects you, your mother can never reject you. What we are seeing today is significant of what the mother have done to the children. The children are celebrating after 5 years, after 10 years. You should know that that mother was a super mother.
Some of the children, sons and daughter-in-laws, as well as grandchildren of late Mrs. Imegbeyogo Odubu, praised the fond memories they shared with her and reaffirmed the virtues their mother embodied while she was alive.
I want to say 10 years of fond memories. We appreciate her and we are not tired of doing this. It's going to be done every other year. It's been so since her departure and we'll continue to do it for as long as we breathe.
I feel good. It's a great honor to celebrate my mother-in-law. Although 10 years without her is a great loss, but we all missed her. We pray God should begin to keep her in the bosom of the Lord.
I feel very great. As you can see, she was well remembered and celebrated. She lived a good life, aged gracefully, and here we are today.
The former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Dr. Pius Odubu, appreciated guests and dignitaries who joined the family in celebrating his late mother, noting that their presence reflected the high regard people had for her and for her family.
I cannot possibly express myself in words the honor these great people did for me today. They came from far and near, from the morning in the church was packed for you. I'm sure you were there. And you saw what happened here today, from the governor to the deputy governor to the speaker, deputy speaker, House of Assembly members, chairman of council, party chieftains. Indeed, I am overwhelmed. I want to appreciate them all. Just as they have done all this honor, may honor never depart from them. We just pray that God will continue to meet them at their points of need. Well, Mama was a virtuous woman. You can see how she was honored today. Now it shows that people still have very firm memories of her. We pray that God continue to repose our soul in his bosom, just as we here continue to enjoy good health.
Meanwhile, guests at the event were sumptuously entertained, although a period of 10 years has passed. Fond memories of late Mrs. Imwegbeyogo Odubu Sunday remain fresh in the hearts of our family. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The acting chairman of Ego Local Government Council, Honorable Osaro Osa Eribo, has disillusioned the executive arm and all political appointees of the local governments with immediate effect. A statement signed by the acting chairman says that the Honorable Eribo deeply appreciates the dedication, loyalty and services the former appointees rendered during their tenure. He said their contributions have been invaluable to the growth and progress of Ego local government. The statement says all council properties in their positions had to be handed over without delay to the appropriate heads of departments or were unavailable to the highest ranking council staff of the department. He extended his sincerely and heartfelt gratitude to them for their commitment and wished them success in their future endeavors. Sarah Igbe Sukobo has been re-elected as president of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN, for a second four-year term, securing a landslide victory with 756 votes during the elective congress held in Yenagoa, the capital of Bayelsa State. Alongside Sukobo, key officials such as Innocent Ndwanya, Deputy President South, were also re-elected. New appointments include Gara Soyonga Nonga as Secretary General and Akoshile Mukhtar as Deputy President North. The newly re-elected president thanked stakeholders for their support and said on top on its agenda is his second term is pushing the National Youth Council bill currently pending before the National Assembly.
Into the Senate, the bill before them in the National Assembly, being the National Youth Council bill, should quickly expedite that bill and let the bill be passing to law by the president before the end of this year. That is our dream, so that it can be able to protect even the rural community youth, the local community youth and the community youth, so that we can lay our voice and have what they call youth developmental projects and programs yearly and annually.
We should expect that this bill will pass to law, and after which Nigerian youth will be able to at least stand firm on their toes and say, okay, we have a good government that's promoting the well-being and the welfareism of Nigerian youth in its entirety.
Restiveness and other forms of vices would not help us. We need to be creative, not just only in tertiary education, but in technical, vocational, entrepreneurship, education, in addition to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and all the
Nigerians may face tougher days ahead as a nationwide strike declared by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, beginning from today Monday, threatens to unleash a twin blow of soaring petrol prices and widespread electricity black. The union directive to halt crude oil and gas supply to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has sent shockwaves through the energy sector, with oil marketers warning of severe disruptions in fuel distribution. This move is expected to choke the domestic market, driving up demands and prices. Compounding the crisis, power generation companies have announced the complete shutdown of all thermal plants, a direct fallout of the strike, with thermal stations producing more than 70% of Nigerians' power supply. The development threatens to plunge the nation into darkness, crippling economic activities and plunging millions of households and businesses into deeper strain unless the federal government intervenes. On Sunday, Pegasus announced a nationwide strike instructing all its members in various offices, companies, institutions, and agencies to cease all services starting at 12 a.m. on Monday, September 29, 2025. The union also directed members stationed in various field locations to down tools from 6 a.m. on Sunday, September 28, and commence a round-the-clock prayer vigil. The emergency decision followed the sack of over 800 Nigerian workers at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. In a strongly worded resolution signed by Pegasus General Secretary Lumumba Okubawa, the union accused the refinery of violating Nigerian labor laws and International Labour Organization conventions while sacking workers for joining the union. It alleged the dismissed workers has been replaced by foreigners. Lagos State has held a roadwork aimed at raising public awareness on the prevention and early detection of kidney disease. The event saw the participation of volunteers, healthcare professionals, and concerned citizens who marched through major streets to promote the importance of healthy living. According to the organizers, the initiative is part of the ongoing effort to combat the rise and prevalence of kidney-related illness in Nigeria. They emphasized that kidney disease is often preventable through a healthy lifestyle, regular medical checkups, and increased public education on the risks and symptoms.
It is supposed to help the first kidney or the faulty kidney, but in a situation where the two kidneys packs up, what becomes of the body? The body becomes useless. So that is why we have come out to make it a point of duty to tell people that, okay, it is important for us to watch what we consume, to watch what we drink.
There are some symptoms you will see before you start developing any kidney issue. Something like bloating, something like urination frequently, and some people, they feel like it's a flex when pee is seizing in their bladder, which is not good. So once you notice all of these symptoms, you just have to go to the hospital.
Most of the things that causes kidney problems emanate from our consumption of processed foods, canned foods majorly, and even from the way we even cook our foods. Sometimes overcooking, over-frying of food, it also affects our kidney in turn. Pre-using oils, all of that, it affects our kidney because it gets to a point, the rate at which it should filter our waste product, it gets weak.
Food regimen, adjusting to our food, eating less of processed food or canned food, taking more of healthy food, more of vegetables, and we should not do self-medication.
We need to elude ourselves from energy drink and painkiller. Even though we are going to use them, we should use them in a small volume. Then another thing is stress management. Stress weakens our hormones, so we should endeavor to have enough rest and enough sleep.
Nigerians Christian pilgrims in Jordan, including delegations from Adamawa, Imo, and Nigerian consulates, held at interdenominational service at Mount Nebo to mark Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary. Over 340 pilgrims gathered at historic sites where Moses viewed the Promised Land but did not enter as part of the celebration. The prayer section, organized by the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, was led by the Archbishop of the Province of Jos and Bishop of Anglican Diocese of Yola. The pilgrims offered prayers for God's grace and strength for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the sustenance of Nigeria as the country celebrates her 65th independence anniversary on the 1st of October. Prayers were also offered for the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, all national leaders in Nigeria, as well as the NCPC leadership. The governor of Cross River State, Basi Otu, has sworn in the new head of service during a ceremony held at the executive chamber of the governor's office in Calabar. The swearing-in followed the recent inauguration of the secretary to the state government. The oath of office, Governor Otu charged to the new head of service to uphold the highest standards of integrity, professionalism, as well as dedication in repositioning the state civil service. He emphasized that the office of the head of service is pivotal to the sources of government's policy, IES, and programs, stressing that only a disciplined and efficient workforce can deliver on the administrations of People's First agenda.
That is, things must not be done based on personal recognition or allegiances, nepotism, and other biases. Rather, they should be done according to laid down procedures, rules, competence, qualification, and equity. Also, you should not neglect the geographical spread of Cross River State. My administration is synonymous with ethical governance, hence I have zero tolerance for unhealthy practices in the workplace. As a new state head of service, I'm going by the strategic importance of the civil service in our diplomatic future. Excellence must be your watchword.
I want to specifically and profusely thank His Excellency the Governor for zeroing in on me as the head of the civil service of Cross River State at this time. I don't want to say much, but I say thank you, sir. And I want to assure you that the charge you have given to me here and privately previously shall be carried out to the latter.
The federal government has dismissed recent allegations by some international platform and online influencers claiming that terrorists in Nigeria are carrying out a systematic genocide against Christians. Describing the claim as false, baseless, despicable, and divisive, the government strongly rejected the narrative. In a statement, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, stated that portraying Nigerian security challenges as a targeted campaign against a specific religious group is a serious misrepresentation of the actual situation. The federal government remains unwavering in its commitment to completely degrading terrorist group and securing the lives and properties of all citizens, and this may result in is already yielding results. Between May 2023 and February 2025 alone, over 13,543 terrorists and criminals were neutralized and nearly 10,000 hostages rescued in multiple military operations across the country. The federal government is steadfast in its duty to protect every Nigerian regardless of ethnic or religious identity and continues to work with international partners to address the global threats of terrorism. You are still watching BeeTv News Update at 3 while we go on a short break. Do stay with us.
My people of Edo State, development is not a miracle. It is the result of responsibility and action. You want good roads, quality hospitals, schools, jobs for our youth? Then you must understand this simple truth. Government cannot perform without your tax. Government will fix schools, build roads, light up communities if the people pay their tax. That's how governance works. It is not about politics. It is about progress. When you pay your tax, you are not helping the government. You are helping yourself. You are helping your family and your future. Don't wait to be chased. Do the right thing. Be part of building the new Edo State. Pay your tax with pride. Let us build Edo together. This message is brought to you by Edo State Internal Revenue Service, EIRS, administering revenue for service and development.
Thank you. And now to business news. The Naira maintains stability below the $1,500 threshold for 10 consecutive trading sessions at the official market, according to data from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The currency first closed below this level on September 15th at $1,497 and ended Friday's section stronger at $1,480. Let's join BeeTv News SOA Osewige for details and more for Business World.
At the parallel markets, the Naira appreciated slightly by 0.13% to an average of 1,510 per dollar. External reserve rose to $42.23 billion from $42.3 billion, representing a 0.47% increase, boosting the CBN's capacity to support the foreign exchange market. The Monetary Policy Committee recently cut the benchmark rate by 50 basis points, a move expected to ease financing pressure on the real sector. Analysts project lower yields in the fixed income market and improve sentiment for equities as the macroeconomic outlook stabilizes. The Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced a 75% cash reserve ratio on non-treasury single account public sector deposits, a move aimed at curbing excess liquidity in the financial system. The directive targets state and local government funds held with deposit money banks, which typically swell following refederation account allocation committee disbursement. The CBN noted that despite moderating inflation, fiscal releases have contributed to rising liquidity levels with implications for foreign exchange stability and inflation trends. The new rule reduces banks' reliance on non-TSA deposits, particularly FAAC inflows, which have historically provided a significant source of low-cost funding. Lenders with heavy exposure to government deposits may face tighter margins and will be required to increase effort to mobilize private sector funds. The National Insurance Commission has banned former directors of African Alliance Insurance Company from reappointment to the board of the company or any board in the insurance industry. NICOM dissolved the company's board and management in October 2024 and installed an interim leadership to safeguard policyholders' interests, particularly those of annuitants. As the interim board approaches 1 year in office, the regulator confirmed that individuals linked to the company's past insolvency will not be reinstated. While shareholders will retain ownership, the regulator emphasized that directors held responsible for the company's collapse will be permanently excluded from government roles in the sector. And that is it on the Business News segment. I am Esohe Osewige reporting for BeeTv News.
And now to global news. At least one person has been killed and 9 others wounded after a gunman drove a vehicle into a Mormon church in Mahican and opened fire, police said. Officials said the attack on Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Plank, a town 60 miles 96 kilometers northwest of this church, happened during a Sunday service that attracted hundreds of people. BeeTv News' Harmony Agbafo has details.
The suspect of a 40-year-old male allegedly also set part of the building on fire, which has since been contained. Officials warned they may discover additional victims when it was safe to enter the building. The alleged shooter was shot dead by police. Authorities said there was no ongoing threat to the public. Grand Blanc Township Police Chief William Renier told reporters that hundreds of people were attending services at about 10:25 local time when a gunman drove a vehicle into the building. The attacker then opened fire with an assault-style rifle, firing several rounds at the individual within the church. Chief Renier said the police responded immediately to the scene. He said adding officers engaged in gunfire with a particular individual, neutralizing that suspect. 9 people suffered gunshot wounds and are being treated in hospitals, and some of the victims are in critical condition.
So from what I understand, and again, this is just a preliminary investigation right now, from what I have been briefed on, is that he rammed the vehicle through the front door, exited, then started firing shots. We are still trying to determine exactly when and where that fire ended up coming from and how it got started. So we believe it was deliberately set though by, yes, it is one suspect that we know of at this point. We do not believe that there's a threat to the public. We believe that we have the guy who did this. We have a couple in critical condition. Like I said, one is deceased, the rest of them are in stable condition.
Investigators have been conducting a search of the man's property and examining his cell phone records as they work to establish a motive. Grand Blanc police say that 100 FBI agents have been deployed to assist with the investigation. President Donald Trump said he had been briefed on the shooting and confirmed the FBI will be leading the federal investigation. Writing on Truth Social, he described it as yet another targeted attack on Christians in the United States of America. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a post on X that she had received briefings on what appears to be a horrific shooting and fire at the church. Such violence at a place of worship is heartbreaking and chilling, Bondi said. Please join me in praying for the victims of this terrible tragedy. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer condemned the incident, saying violence anywhere, especially in a place of worship, is unacceptable, adding that she was monitoring the situation. Harmony Agbafor reporting for BeeTv News.
And moving on to entertainment news, Mavis Record founder and producer Don Jazzy has expressed that marriage is one aspect of life he did not anticipate sacrificing while pursuing a successful career in music. Let's join BeeTv News Evelyn Zibili for details and more from entertainment world.
The 42-year-old revealed this during an appearance on the Echo podcast, stating that he did not expect to be unmarried in his 40s. Despite this, he noted that he remains content with his accomplishments in the entertainment industry. Don Jazzy celebrated for mentoring artists such as Tiwa Savage, Rema and Arista, and acknowledged that he would likely still have pursued music or thrive as an influencer if he had not become a music executive. Before his rise to fame, he was briefly married to model and writer Michelle Jackson in 2003 while living in London. The union ended in divorce after 2 years, with Don Jazzy attributing the split to his deep focus on building a music career. He has maintained that he and Michelle remain on good terms. In another development, media personality Radio God had reacted to the funeral of socialite Pretty Mike's father held over the weekend in Anambra State. The ceremony was attended by family members and close associates who gathered to pay their last respects. Unlike Pretty Mike's usual public appearances, the funeral lacked the unusual displays for which he is often known. Radio God, in a video posted on TikTok, noted the absence of such spectacles and issued a cautionary remark to the socialites against introducing eccentric art at future events. Pretty Mike has previously drawn widespread attention for his unconventional appearances at public gatherings, which frequently generate reactions on social media. Puerto Rican rapper and singer Bad Bunny has been confirmed as the headliner for the 2026 Super Bowl LX halftime show. The event is scheduled for February 8, 2026 at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. The game is set to begin at 6:30 p.m. ET, with the halftime performance expected around 8 p.m. ET. Bad Bunny born Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio on March 10, 1994 in San Juan, Puerto Rico, is a Grammy Award-winning artist and record producer. He has been named Artist of the Year by Apple Music and is known for global hits such as I Like It with Cardi B and J Balvin and Maya with Drake. He is also preparing for his debut Tyra Mass Photos World Tour, which includes a performance in Warsaw, Poland on July 14, 2026. Bad Bunny was previously in a relationship with model and jewelry designer Gabriela Berlingeri between 2017 and 2022. Berlingeri contributed vocals to some of his songs, including En Casita and El Apango. He was later linked to model Kendall Jenner in 2023, a relationship that received significant media attention due to their public appearances together. Evelyn Isabelle reporting for B.
And lastly, on sport news, the FIFA U20 World Cup kicks off with a thrilling encounter as Nigeria's Flying Eagles face Norway Young Vikings at the Estadio Fikal de Teca in Chile on September 29, 2025 at 9 West African time. Both teams recognize the value of a strong opening match, setting the stage for an electrifying clash that promises skill and intensity under the Chilean night sky. Nigeria arrives with a storied legacy, marking their 14th tournament appearance with two runner-up finishes in 1989 and 2005. Led by coach Aliyu Zubair, the Flying Eagles combine local talents with Euro-based stars, aiming to refine their attack and make a bold statement. Meanwhile, Norway, in their fourth U20 World Cup, seeks to break their group stage barrier under coach Bjorn Johansen. The young Vikings bring determination and resilience, hoping to rewrite their history with a standout performance. And that will be all in our bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned for more updates on our major news at 6. I remain your host, Libri Manjoana. Bye for now.